This message is produced by truthfromgod.com, which is one of hundreds of messages that can be read, heard, and watched at truthfromgod.com. Man, published in the Battle Axe, issue 115, August 1977. There is much confusion about the central message of the Bible simply because each book uses symbolic imagery, which is explained only in some other book within the Bible. This intertwined formatting must be understood before any attempt can be made to unravel its many mysteries. This key is given in Isaiah 28:10. For this study, it is necessary to begin at the beginning, and the beginning of the Bible is the book of Genesis, which states the theme of the Bible in the 5th chapter, verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. Before the full impact of this verse can be realized, it is necessary to clarify the meaning of the two key words, generation and Adam. The English word Adam is a transliteration of the Hebrew word Adam, which means ruddy, rosy complexion, able to show blood in the face, to blush. It must be recognized that only the has a skin pigmentation light enough that the color of blood can be seen through it, able to blush. There are two Hebrew words translated generations in the Bible. One is the word dari, which means length of time, an age, and the other is toledah, which means family, descendants. In this particular verse, the Hebrew word used is toledah, which means. Now take another look at Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the toledah of Adam. The whole Bible is the book about the Adamic race from beginning to end, and its history and prophecies will only make sense when seen in this light. Others are mentioned in the Bible, but only in regard to their contact with the Adamic. The evolutionists have promoted the popular propaganda that Adam was the first man on earth and that all other descended from him, but such statements have no foundation in the Bible. According to the scriptures, Adam was the Son of God, Luke 3:38. And he was placed into a garden called Eden, Genesis 2:8, which contained many trees, Genesis 2:9. These trees in the Garden of Eden are symbolic trees and represent the family trees of the nations. The following verses in Ezekiel 31:3-9 confirm the truth of this statement. Behold, the Assyrian nation was a cedar in Lebanon, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations. The cedars in the garden of God could not hide him, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him. 1 Corinthians 15:47, in referring to Adam, says, the first man is of the earth, earthy, the second man is the Lord from heaven. This verse does not mean that Adam was the first man on earth, for to do so would also mean that Jesus Christ, the Lord from heaven, was the second man on earth. This is absurd, and no one would ever believe that until the birth of Jesus, there was only one man on earth. The context of this verse clearly indicates it is not talking about the first or second man, but is addressing the first state of Adamic man, that is, earthly, natural, and the second state of Adamic man, which is heavenly, spiritual. Adam was the first son of God that was put into a natural, earthy body, and he was put into a body. According to the Bible chronology, this event took place over 7,000 years ago, and it is interesting that this is the same time period that archaeologists date the appearance of civilization. The other trees were on earth long before the arrival of the Adamic, but with its advent began the history of high Western culture. These same evolutionists preach the hoax that Noah's flood was worldwide. Through such, they attempt to prove the satanic lie of equality in saying that after the worldwide flood, all came from Noah. Again, the Bible disproves the very statements that they claim it makes. In Genesis 6:13, God says that he will destroy the earth. The Hebrew word eretz, translated earth in this verse, literally means country and is translated as such 140 times in the King James Version Bible. A few references are when God told Abraham to get thee out of thy country, eretz, Genesis 12:1. And when he told Jacob, return unto thy country, eretz, Genesis 32:9. Abraham did not get out of the earth, nor did Jacob return back to earth. They traveled to and from an eretz, a country. God only destroyed the eretz where Noah lived, and not the whole world. If Yahweh was going to destroy the world, then he would have said so, and the Hebrew writer would have used the word Tabel, which means world, instead of eretz. See the comparison in 1 Chronicles 16:30. Yahweh did destroy Noah's country because of mongrelization, which is further proof that all two-legged creatures did not come from one. Noah's family was the only one which was perfect in his generations, Genesis 6:9. The Hebrew word translated generations in this verse is the same as in Genesis 5:1, which means the Hebrew word translated perfect is tamim, which means pure, unadulterated, not mixed. Noah was saved, delivered, and all destroyed, just like with Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah, Jude 7. God has eternally commanded his chosen people to maintain their purity, and any deviation produces a lose. Every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Genesis 6:5. Now you can understand about the rise in crime in every Western nation with the influx of. The Bible is the book of Western man's development as the true Israel, the chosen people of God, and not the who are impostors. This is a study in itself which is addressed in other articles, a few of which are: Adam was not the first human, Jews ain't Israel, who is Israel, and children of God and the children of Satan. Since the Bible's theme is the individuals are not dealt with except according to their rank within the nation. Neither the Old or the New Testament is about individual salvation, but they are both filled to overflowing about the salvation of God's Adamic Israel. This national message has been hidden by the sophisticated sermonettes from the ministerial ecumenical alliances of Christ and Belial. No, Jesus did not come to save lost individuals. He said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 15:24. Again, Jesus points to the national theme in Matthew 21:43 by saying that the kingdom of God would be given to a nation. And later, in Matthew 25:31 through 46, he says that the judgment will be between all nations. In this passage, he commands the Israel sheep nations to inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Jesus even instructed the disciples, go not into the way of the Gentiles, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 10:5 through 6. This national salvation, as Paul points out, was even written by the prophets of old. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. Romans 11:26 through 27, and refer to Jeremiah 31:31 through 34. How much more could it be? The biblical examples are legion, but nothing could be simpler than Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. The Bible is the book whose central character is man. It is the history, past, present, and future of his accomplishments and the struggles waged in bringing forth the kingdom of God. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. 1 Peter 2:9. This message is produced by truthfromgod.com, which is one of hundreds of messages that can be read, heard, and watched at truthfromgod.com.